What's up, y'all? This is Sorry back with a reaction, y'all, from the Fat Man's Podcast. Y'all got a reaction for y'all. Before we get up in this reaction, y'all, please hit that like button and subscribe button, y'all. And do share the video with everybody, see your family, friends, whoever you see. And tell them to subscribe to the Fat Man's Podcast, y'all. We're on the way to 1K, y'all. We're at 973, so that means we only need 27 more to go. So we see we can hit that by Christmas, y'all. I really would appreciate that. And if you like to go see the original video, it will be up in the description. Y'all say original video. The link should be right beside it. And if you have any comments, go ahead and put them in the comment section. I do read all of them. I might not respond to all of them, but I definitely do read them. And let's get up in this reaction, y'all. So the reaction is FJW. It's from FJW Central, the channel, and the title is FJW Owned Compilation Part 19. So let's get up in here. We'll see what's going on. It looks like it's Ben Shapiro. The first clip is Ben Shapiro. And let's get up in here. Go on mute, y'all, and let's go.
Bias is a concept well documented in psychological studies, which is basically that people associate negative things with people of color and positive things with whites. So if that is true, given that that is true, how does white privilege not exist?
Okay, so you're asking about unconscious bias. I apologize because it's kind of echoey, but the question was, if there is unconscious bias, just to repeat it so I'm making sure I get it right, if there is unconscious bias, how does white privilege not exist?
The question is, given that there is unconscious bias, how does white privilege not exist?
So number one, so when I speak about white privilege, yes, so when I speak about white privilege, I'm speaking specifically about behavior. Okay, there have been no studies, and really I've looked at these studies, the connection between what they call implicit bias, this is their favorite phrase now, implicit bias, unconscious bias, and biased behavior has yet to be proven at any level that is even remotely necessary to be used in, for example, a courtroom, which is why it's never been used in a courtroom. It is also true that there is no way, there really isn't, there's been no proven way to alleviate what they call unconscious bias, which means that we're ghost hunting. So what I would suggest is that if there is unconscious bias, and I'll acknowledge the possibility or the reality of unconscious bias, if there is, then I need you to I don't care about what's in people's heads so much as what they do. So if you point me to a racist behavior, don't worry, I'll let you respond. If you point me to a racist behavior, I'm happy to stand alongside you and protest it. What I can't do is protest about things in people's head that I don't know about because I'm not a mind reader.
Okay, so that's a really interesting response, and to that I have two questions. Firstly, what I've heard you say that this is something that, the way people think doesn't affect their behavior. So that's the first thing you've said. So I'm really curious if you can kind of give me another example of a thought that somebody has which doesn't affect their behavior. Like, do people who, support Trump not vote for him? Like, I'm very curious about that.
Yes.
And secondly, so the second thing that I want to ask is that if it's something it's hard to fix, does it mean we shouldn't do anything about it? Because you said, I don't know if we can change how people think. Does that mean we shouldn't try?
I mean, first of all, not a great impression. But beyond that, my voice isn't that low. But beyond that, as far as the first question, which is, do people have thoughts that don't manifest in behavior? Yes, all the time.
For instance?
For instance, every thought that you have about walking up here and strangling me right now. I assume like we have thoughts all the time that don't manifest in behavior, and this is true every single day. We consider thoughts that cross our minds. And the problem with unconscious bias is the idea is you don't even know that you're having the thought, right? So how can you stop it if you don't even know that you're having it? But then we should be able to gauge the unconscious bias and its impact on behavior. That's why it's unconscious bias as opposed to conscious bias. Right? The idea behind unconscious bias is that it's not even a ghost, it's a ghost of a ghost, because you don't even know you're having the thought. So people, the whole idea behind diversity training is the idea that you can retrain people to stop their chain of thought in order so that it doesn't manifest in behavior. I don't think that every thought manifests in behavior. If it did, then every time a man saw a good-looking woman walk down the street, a straight man saw a good-looking woman down the street, we'd have a real mess on our hands. So the second question, the idea was a little too broad for me to respond to, which is, just because something is tough, don't we have to face up to it? Yes, we have to face up to tough things all the time. And one of the tough things I would suggest that we face up to is that you have a lot more control over your own behavior and the decisions you make than the supposedly widespread unconscious bias of people you've never met.
Are you a feminist?
Feminists define it, no. Because feminists define and killing babies and all the rest of it. But
in the social, political, and
so
that is the definition of feminist.
Well, that's if you use that definition, does that include killing babies or no?
That's a separate issue.
Well, it's sort of the definition you gave me is vague because you actually have to break down what those terms mean to you, right? Social, so I believe of course I believe women should vote. Of course I believe that women should be able to hold any job they want. I grew up in a house actually where my dad was at home and my mom worked. My wife is a doctor, right? And she took off a year to have our baby, so she's having it all, which is great. So, you know, in that sense, I certainly consider myself a feminist. I believe that women should be able to make whatever life decisions they see fit. That doesn't mean all life decisions are equally good, but men should make decisions they see fit, and if those decisions are bad, live with them. The problem I have with the feminist movement is twofold. One, they've decided that female equality means also that biology no longer exists, meaning that if men don't have to have babies, women also don't have to have babies even if they get pregnant, so I get to kill this thing. Or I get to randomly decide it's not a human. That I find offensive. And then the other thing that the feminist movement has done, and this is where I think the feminist movement went wrong, is they made the absolutely correct point in the 50s and 60s, men act like pigs. Right? Men act like pigs, they're mean to women, they don't allow women into the workplace, all of this is bad, right? Women should be able to have all these opportunities that men have. Right? Based on merit. Not based on lowering standards, based on merit. Right? And then the feminist movement went further. They said men act like pigs, therefore we should, instead of calling on men to stop acting like pigs, let's all act like pigs. This will be the new standard, right? The new standard will be not that men should stick around and be responsible for the women with whom they have children. The standard should be that women don't need men. A woman doesn't need a man like a fish and doesn't need a bicycle. Right? Except it turns out that women actually do need men and men need women. It turns out that we all need each other in a certain way, and when it comes to marriage and raising children, you certainly need your partner. You certainly need your partner. This is the problem I have with feminism. So the basic principle, of course I agree with. It's that the feminist movement, as it has been iterated, and as it has changed over time, has become more and more radical, to the point where they want separate standards for men and women, which is precisely the reverse of equality. They want standards lowered for women in particular areas, which is precisely the reverse of equality. They want to say that they have extra moral authority to decide whether a human being is a human being or not just because you're a woman, which I find utterly offensive. You know, so am I traditionally, again, according to your definition, absolutely I am a feminist. According to the feminists, no, I'm not a feminist because I don't believe in a lot of the evil things they're pushing.
What are these so-called lies that feminists...
Yeah, before we get back into the video, it's at the 6-minute mark. I went over a little bit more. Okay, so the first clip, right? Damn, my bad. The first clip, right? How are you supposed to change people's minds if they're stuck on what they believe in? You know what I mean? Like, if I want to vote for Joe Biden, if I vote for Joe Biden, okay, I'm gonna be stuck on that. Like, you might be able to change my mind, but if I'm stuck on it, if I believe that he's the right president for me, in my heart, in my mind, then I'm probably just gonna vote for that. And low key, I don't even know what the unbiased consciousness. I don't even know what that really means. To be honest, I really don't. I mean, I think we're all biased. I don't think we can just not think that way. You know what I mean? Like, and not everybody acts on what they believe. Not everybody acts on what they think. Like Ben Shapiro said, not everybody acts on what they think. You know what I mean? Especially, and that's definitely a help for like I think that helped because they put laws and you know that you're gonna go, you know, you can go to jail if you want to go kill something. You know what I mean? That's what happened too. The feminist thing. I mean, I believe we all should be equal under the law. Doesn't mean that we're equal in like biology and like reality or something like that. I mean, we're not equal. Men and women are not equal. But we're all humans. We should all be together. We should always care for each other and stuff like that. We should always have respect for each other. But now these days, there's so much hatred in their heart. You know what I mean? And I don't see why people have so much hatred in their heart. I don't understand it. I have love for everybody. I don't hate anybody. You know what I mean? I might just like some people, but I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I'll still talk to them and everything like that. I will still be respectful and stuff like that, unless you lose my respect. But that's pretty much it, y'all. But hey, let's get back up in this video, y'all. So we can end this off, y'all. We got, I believe, like 6 more minutes, y'all. So let's go ahead. Then we'll end off this video here. We'll end off this video after.
Feminists come out with?
Well, we have for about 18 months now been presenting prominent feminists with Lying Feminist of the Month awards. And I had the pleasure this morning of being on ITV's This Morning on the sofa with Caroline Criado Perez, who we've presented 2 awards. Well, the first one was she lied about the impact of more women on corporate boards. And
by that you mean that this claim that women on corporate boards improve profits? You don't think that's true?
Well, it's not that I don't think it is. All the evidence says that that is not so. Well, so we challenged her, and she has had no response. All the longitudinal studies that we're aware of show that women do not improve corporate financial performance. It's really clear.
Well, that's interesting, because you'll pick your studies, and those that are in support of you will pick theirs that actually suggest profitability does increase.
I'm sorry, Fran, it doesn't. Everything that they present studies which show correlation, and correlation is not causation. It's kind of statistics 101. And it's why nobody in the world challenges our assertion which is that women do not improve corporate financial performance. And we have been challenging people for 3 years on this.
Okay. Would you like to keep them out of the boardroom?
Of course not.
So what's your beef?
No, sorry, Fran. That is a shaming tactic. The idea that that I would want to keep women out of the boardroom. Why would you resort to a shaming tactic?
Well, why would you bring up the fact that people are saying that women are an advantage in a boardroom when you're saying they're not? I mean,
but they're not. But the facts say they're not. In fact, 5 longitudinal studies that I presented to inquiries of the House of Commons and House of Lords showed that show international studies show that when you increase the proportion of women on corporate boards, on average, corporate financial performance declines. It's really black and white.
So, Mike, let's talk about your views and your policies without going into longitudinal studies. You believe that in a workplace, men work harder than women?
It's not what I think, Fran. It goes back to a study or a report in 2000 by Dr. Catherine Hackim, a world-renowned sociologist. And she published a paper in 2000 called Preference Theory. And she found in Britain that 4 out of 7 men are work-centred, and work here being paid employment, and only 1 in 7 women is work-centred. Women want balance in their lives.
Why does that suggest that in a workplace a man is working harder than a woman? That simply says that given the choice, a woman would like to look after children more than men, perhaps?
Well, of course.
Well, why does that mean that women don't work as hard?
Well, if women want to spend more time with their children and with their families, as they do, compared to men, that will necessarily have an impact on their advancement in the workplace. You know, choices have consequences, and women have to realise that if they want to spend more time with their kids and family, which I applaud, there's no reason they shouldn't, but they then cannot expect to be 50% of FTSE 100 directors.
Free speech. You can always go somewhere else.
Hey guys, it's Jacob Honeycutt. We're live on Facebook with a Trump supporter and a Trump hater.
You don't hate anyone, sir.
You absolutely do. You're talking about hate. Why is what we think is hate?
I'm not saying that I hate him. I am saying that he incites hate.
How?
I'm saying that he hates Mexicans.
He didn't say he hates Mexicans. Did he ever say that?
He was going to build a wall to keep them out.
Oh, that's right. Because we don't belong in we don't have a right to defend our borders. You lock your doors at night. Well, why do you do that? You should open your doors at night.
Because I
live
in the city.
I don't care. I would like to come into your house and sleep on your couch.
Sir, what I'm trying to say.
Food out of your fridge. Can you please leave your door open at night?
Absolutely.
You will?
Absolutely.
Will you give me your address so I can get some food? I might be hungry.
You're voting for Trump.
I am unemployed. I am an unemployed veteran. I would love some free food.
Absolutely.
I would love a place to sleep tonight.
What would you like? I'll
Just
look
give me your
at
address.
something.
Right.
I'm not giving you my address, sir.
Why not?
Because I
But
don't
you can lock
trust
your
you. I
doors.
don't know you.
Well, then we don't know Mexicans that are coming across the border with drugs and stuff like that. So
I'm not
we can
denying
trust
that.
them.
I'm not denying that.
So you have no valid point whatsoever. What else has he preached about hate? When has he ever said I hate you? No? Nothing? Silence is good.
I'm not going to argue with someone.
It's not
but
arguing.
I'm not
It's
going
called
to change
debating.
your
So
opinion.
you have your ideas, and I have
I am
my
not
ideas.
going to change your
In a
opinion,
free
sir.
society, I can spout off my ideas, and then you come back
I
with
am
yours.
not going to change your opinion, sir.
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure out where he is and where tape. What does he set the tape?
I am not trying to change your opinion, sir.
You're never going to. I'm just trying to figure out why you think it's.
I am not trying to change your opinion.
Is that your go-to line? That's just it.
I am not trying to change your opinion. You
That's
are
fine.
entitled to
I'm not
believe
trying
in
to
what
change
you would
yours.
like to.
You can be hateful all you want. I'm just trying to
You
figure out
you
why.
are entitled to believe in what you want.
Hello guys, SJW Central here. I am autistic by self-diagnosis. I identify as demi-queer Triglykin attack helicopter.
Alright, y'all, before we get back, I guess before we end this video off, the last clip, right? He actually he defeated her argument so bad. It was good. It was a good analogy when he said, "Oh, you lock your doors, right? You defend your house, right?" Then she said, "Well, I don't know you. Well, we don't know the message that are coming over here." It's like, damn, he got her. That's why her defense mechanism kicked in. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not trying to change your mind. Damn, he got her. So on the other clip though, when he's talking on national TV, or I think that was TV. You see how she took? Okay, so he was speaking facts, right? The first part. Then he asked him another. She asked another question, but then she said, "Don't put the facts in it or anything like that. Don't even talk about that." Because he was speaking straight facts. I don't know what's so hard about y'all not like understanding facts. And if we really want to be technical, men do work harder than women. It's construction, bricklaying, garbage men, all that stuff. We can. That's true. Unless you're talking about up in the office part, I don't know about that. But we're just talking about in general, men work harder. We build they build their houses. We build the buildings. We build all that stuff. So I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. But hey, yo, that's in the video, y'all. Please do hit that like button and subscribe button, y'all. And share the video with everybody. See your family, friends, whoever you see, and tell them to subscribe to the Fat Man's Podcast. Y'all, we're trying to hit that 1K by Christmas, y'all. We're at 973, so that means we only need 27 more to go. So if we can see if we can hit that by Christmas, y'all. And if you'd like to go see the original video, y'all, it will be up in the description, y'all. Say original video. The link should be right beside it. And if you have any comments, go ahead and put up in the comment section. I do read all of them. I not always respond to all of them, but I definitely do read them, y'all. But those signs off from the Fat Man's Podcast, y'all, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.